So, people, let's get into this video. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. We always say, hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Well, all the people that deserve it anyway. So, Zoe Starks, she's one of the people in WWE that I wanted to see more of, and unfortunately for Zoe Starks, she's gonna have to call it, a night on wrestling because of her knee situations. And I saw a video where she was saying, if I see Kyrie saying I'm gonna slap you, or something she said to that effect, called him weak, pretty much, and But anyways, the WWE didn't do much of anything with Zoe Starks. Now, once you become damaged goods, there's no company that you can go to that is going to really put real trust in you. I mean, it was questionable if Bryan Danielson was going to be able to come back. It was questionable if Saraya was going to be able to come back. And that's why I said, even when it comes to Saraya, she's very fragile. You could even see in her in-ring work, that even she's not really comfortable, confident that she's 100%. You can see the way she take bumps and everything. It's when you have certain injuries, especially injuries that can linger around through time, especially when it comes to your neck and your back, your knees, especially your neck and your back, you don't want to play around with that. Now, I will say this, okay, because I see, like, for example, the WWE brought the YI6 back. I don't really know why, like, what their mission statement is. What's the purpose of the YI6? Like, do they want to be champions? Like, what's the purpose of the YI6? I would like to really know that, and I don't mean a fan's perspective, because we don't know. There's nothing that they've done. They don't, say much of anything. Just popping up out of nowhere, putting your finishing move on someone, smiling, and the crowd is okay, but like, right, what are we doing here? What's the purpose of the YI6? When they had the Nation of Domination, they had that little biker group, where they had Savio Vega and all these. Everybody tried to imitate the New World Order. Everybody tried to get their own version of the New World Order. But let's be real, man. I mean, at least, the Brood, like somebody, the Horsemen, like, groups had, their groups, they want to be tag champions. They want to be singles champions, right? And basically, especially if you're heel, like, whatever, even if most fashions are heel fashions, to be honest with you. Most, you don't just see a group of good guys. It's just so. Bottom line though is it's like, to me, the YI6 are more like just a group of misfits, people who never really did anything to really get noticed and stand out. And I don't know what their purpose is. When they had Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and the other chick together, I told you guys then, they don't have any plans for them, man. You forget her name, but you could see they had nothing for them. And the chick that was, if you want to say the leader of the group, she went from being a wrestler to a general manager, remember? Then became a wrestler again, and they did nothing with her. They made this big announcement about her return, like it was some big deal, and they did nothing with her. Next thing you know, she's losing, then boom, she's barely wrestling, then she's in the group. Shayna Baszler was a killer, man. I don't know. It's like there's no real purpose anymore for these wrestlers in the WWE. They're there. One of the things I feel like the WWE definitely does to this very day, they live off the past too much. Let's just be real. What do you think the purpose of The Rock coming back for? What do you think that's for? He'll boost the ratings. You mean to tell me your young talent can't do that? You don't have anybody that I mean, listen, and that includes Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and whoever. If you gotta be, The Rock is not gonna wrestle. He's gonna come out, he's gonna talk his shit, and then he's gonna leave. Okay. This final boss character was something that wasn't meant for long term. Now, doesn't it make you think all that talk about The Rock telling Cody, oh, my friend, our story has just begun. And I'm like, bro, The Rock is not a spring chicken, man, to be fucking jumping out the ring, wrestling, and then, you understand what happens now. So it's like just scrap plans, and we know in wrestling that happens a lot because of injuries and different things happen. People contract expire, they don't resign or whatever, but things happen. But this is just a situation where wrestlers are just like, what is the purpose of putting Chad Gable and Ivy Nile and those guys? What the Creed brothers? Why are they together? He's telling them, I want to see some gold when I come back. Man, you don't even have gold. You can't even get gold. You lose matches. Like, you're just better than the rest of them. But, like, you know, what is the purpose? What the fuck is the Judgment Day? Like, what exactly is the Judgment Day? They went from being like this dark, this dark, sinister group to like, I'm like, what are they supposed to be? Walk around with little purple rags hanging out their back pocket like a little 60-year-old street gang or something. What was their purpose? And I'm like, are they supposed to be like a gothic group? Like, what are they? I don't like, what are they? It's just groups are formed, and then what? Nothing really happens. And if you look at this version of the Judgment Day, man, it's like so watered down and so dull. There's nothing going on there. If Finn Balor is supposed to be the leader, there's nothing going on. All they do is bicker. They 1 minute, Liv Morgan is this little giddy, happy-go-lucky chick. Everything's a smile and goofy shit to her. To now, last night she's blaming Raquel for not being in the right position, because what's her name? Help her get the way. No, she helped out. She interfered, but she's blaming Raquel again, and it's weird, man. It's really weird. I mean, even like this guy, this Brunson guy coming back. The last time we saw him, he was beefing with Seth Rollins, and he came back in the ring. Now they're a group again, man. Honestly, I'm watching this stuff, and I'm like, it just has no direction. So when Triple H tells you stories don't have to make sense, you can't say he's lying, that he believed that, because that's exactly what you're getting. A bunch of shit, man. Like, what the hell? What are these stories? And the thing is, y'all keep talking about tell me stories, but bro, when are you gonna snap out of this funk you're in and wake up? Like, this mindset that's going on in the WWE is they think they're knocking out the fucking park, bro. They really think they're on course. It's you guys that's complaining that's wrong. So I don't really understand any of this shit. Braun Breaker title reign was garbage when he had his title. LA Knight, his title reign was garbage. Rhea Ripley's title reign was garbage. Everything that we saw was just something that they put together, but like there was no real thinking process behind it. Nothing to really. It's just laziness. Lazy. And I don't even understand like why these things are happening, man. Like, why is Julia and this little chick always teaming up? Are they an actual team, man? They just team up to do dirt together. What are they? And I swear, man, judging Julia based on what she's doing in the WWE, I swear, people will feel like they're like, she can't wrestle. She's good. No, that's why I say go watch her in Stardom. I bet you'll go, wait a minute. She could actually wrestle. Yeah, it's the way they use these guys, man. It's the way they use them, and I don't understand this whole WWE pace. I don't understand this let me take away from you what makes you special. It's like telling Mike Tyson to stop throwing those fierce, uppercuts and hooks, shot to, his right to the body, his left hook to the body, and his right to the body, left hook to the head. It's like taking his signature moves away and telling him to just dance and move and like fight in a way that doesn't suit him. This is what they do with these wrestlers, man. They put them in there and they look like shit. And I can tell you, because I've been watching Julia, I've been watching All these fucking people that's coming to WWE now, I've been watching the motherfuckers in the independents and over in Japan or Mexico or whatever they were. I've been watching them since then. You motherfuckers only know them from coming to WWE, and you probably go on YouTube and watch some highlights or some shit, you know, but you don't even know these people. This is why you call everybody that come to WWE a fucking jobber. Because you have no fucking respect for the sport. You just have a spoiled, whiny little brat persona that thinks that whatever you want needs to be fed, but you guys are not paying attention to what's really going on. See, the WWE is greedy as fuck, man. Let's just think about this, right? To the minds of the simple-minded fucking person, oh man, they gave us Battleground, they gave us Saturday Night's Main Event, they gave us this, they gave us that, all in the same weekend, and right, trying to be greedy, and they think that they're blocking AEW, but they're not. And I told you guys, even with their attempts to do what they're doing, they're greedy as fuck, man. And they're not considering their actual fans. All they care about, see, what they're giving you for your money. You sound stupid complaining, but every time they have an event you watch, I told you, the way to fix that shit is to say, hey man, you know what? We have to step away from the WWE and stop watching this shit. Their asses will wake up then. And maybe they'll start to do things a lot different, because there's far too many people that's unhappy with their product, man. But at the same time, I do acknowledge there's a lot of spoiled, immature brats out there that just complain about everything. I mean, fuck, the Nintendo Switch 2 hasn't even officially come out yet, and you already had people telling you 10 reasons why not to buy the Nintendo. Is like, man, shut your bitch ass up. You're just not gonna buy. Who the fuck are you to tell somebody not to buy something? It's like, you know, and so this is my thing about it. You guys complain, but you still watch. It's like, well, what's the compromise? You act like someone is forcing you to watch this shit. No, this is just you guys going, oh, they gave us this and that, and how come they didn't give us this? The Nintendo is this, the Nintendo is that. Oh my God, why don't I get it, man. I get it. What I'm seeing also with the WWE right now too is, you see all of this talk about The Rock and Triple H and whose fault it is and who should be fired and who should be doing what. They should be doing this and that instead of this, and it's all you guys coming on making conversation about things you don't even have the details on. You hear a little bit of, if you honestly think that little bit of backstage news that you get is completely accurate and you think that you know the full stories, you guys are fools. You guys are talking, and you want to know what happens? Like Eric Bischoff's book and like his saying, right? Controversy creates cash. As long as you're talking about them, it doesn't matter how much you say you hate what they're doing. You're still watching. I watch you guys do the same thing over their video game and over fucking John Madden football. I can't stress it enough. And 2K now is in that same category. Every single year. 2K sucks. Madden sucks. WWE 2K sucks. Oh my God, they this and that. Oh, they added the island, but you can't do this and you can't do that on the island. And how come? Madden, oh my God, Madden sucks. I know it's gonna suck, but I'm gonna be a dumbass and spend my $120 fucking dollars anyway, even though I know it's gonna suck. This is what you guys are doing. I'm telling you, here's the deal. If you've been watching, and I'm gonna reiterate, maybe some of you will wake the fuck up and really understand, like, damn, it's true. If you are 20, at least 25 years old, if you grew up and in your mind, you think John Cena's a good fucking wrestler. Now, if you're looking at him and Randy Orton and those guys, and to you, that's like, you know, the epitome of wrestling in your mind, I'm guaranteeing you, you've outgrown the shit that they're doing now. It's a different mindset, and it's not the same. No different from the people that was watching the Rocky Johnsons and the Tony Atlas's back in the day, the Von Erich brothers and all, you know, the British Bulldogs, the Horsemen, that era of wrestling, those people, a lot of them didn't like, you know, what came after that. A lot of them didn't. It was like, it's not the same. And especially the more hip it became, you know, because it went from being that grown-up adult wrestling family show at the same time to a bunch of silly just silly stuff, a bunch of dudes coming out sagging pants and hopping around and just doing a bunch of shit that just, it was different from what they were used to. And I can honestly tell you, man, that this is what's happening right now. You guys are seeing something, and in your mind, you can go back, and this is why you guys keep bringing up last year's Mania. Mania before that, 10 years before. This is why you guys keep doing that. Because you see a big difference in the product, but you're not realizing it's what they call changing of the guards, man. And I'm on board with you in that perspective. I mean, look, Seth Rollins, for example. This guy comes from the Shield, man. Right? It's not like they were badass, man. They had the opportunity to be. And they had the opportunity to meet the Shield versus the Wyatts. They fucked that all up because, they just didn't do shit right with that. But bottom line, I was watching Seth Rollins when he was in Ring of Honor. I was watching Kevin Owens when he was in Ring of Honor. Like, bottom line, this guy's, he comes from the Shield, right? Y'all know it. Y'all saw what they wore with the Shield. And now the guy comes out dressing like a fucking woman. He comes out wearing these weird, stupid-looking clothes, his stupid little song, and you guys are singing right along with this bullshit. And, I mean, remember, he went from, and before that, he had that little stupid maniacal laugh he kept doing. I mean, his character is just weird as fuck, man. And Braun Breaker joins him to be a fucking enforcer. Bro, you should be focusing on your own career. But this is what I mean, how the WWE will start something with the wrestler and stop their own growth with some stupid ass ideas. But you guys that keep sitting there just opening your mouth so they can keep shoving this crap down your throats, it's your own fault. Think about it. The sport has become, like, as a whole, I'm not saying as a whole, okay, but what's produced to us, what we see, AEW, look, Sonny Kiss was there. Sonny Kiss, we know what we know Sonny Kiss situation. We know, okay, we know the Nyla Rose situation. Here's what I'm saying, though. Sonny Kiss was in a position of, he can beat certain people, yeah, but then there was certain people that he couldn't beat. But he was able to compete and give a good showing against, some of the top people. Sonny really could wrestle. Okay. You see what happened to Sonny when Sonny went to TNA? For those 2 matches or whatever it was? And he lost to Naomi. Clean. The Battle Royal thing, okay, cool, it's a Battle Royal, but he lost clean to Naomi. All right. Here's my thing. There's feminine energy. There's a lot of softness, a lot of crybaby-like characters, and what I'm seeing in like AEW is balancing their shit more to where it's more of a serious product. That's what I like, man. I'm not with all this silly shit. You remember like when WCW had Norman Smiley, right? Norman Smiley was comedy. He was a funny dude. Ernest the Cat Miller was a funny dude. I'm like, all right, we don't need a bunch of funny people, man. We got those two. Okay. 3 Count came out dancing and shit, man, and they were like to try to get the younger generation interested and stuff like that. You had the Filthy Animals. I mean, there was a lot that was going on. You had the different looks and everything, but I remember just like when WCW started trying to do the more entertainment style of thing, and they tried I'm like, yo, I see what you guys are doing, but man, you guys are known for wrestling, and you've never been story based, really driven hard with that. There was always stories. This is why people say that shit is so stupid. It's always stories. Always stories. That's why you go from one match to what the fuck do you call Sting versus the Black Scorpion? Like, there were always stories. The difference was it wasn't story based to where let's have this soap opera like shit to where this is what we're gonna do and have. It wasn't like that. Coming out just talking for 30 fucking minutes. This is what y'all call storytelling. It's just bullshit, man. What's her name? Lyra Valkyrie and fucking Becky Lynch almost put me the fuck to sleep watching that bullshit, man. This is what you guys consider good shit. Let's just go in the ring and insult each other, talk some shit, complain, and sound like a bunch of whiny little kids to where the match doesn't live up to the hype. There's no real hype. It's just talking. It's just a bunch of talking. It's like I'm watching how all of this shit is changing. Then you got people like Roman Reigns. Wasn't one of the biggest complaints that people had about Brock Lesnar is that he barely wrestled. He only wrestled at pay-per-views. We've seen all of them. Hulk Hogan wouldn't wrestle on on Saturdays. He would only wrestle like on Saturday's main event. He would wrestle at like fuck Hulk Hogan anyway, bitch ass. Madison Square Garden or something like that, but like or a pay-per-view. Okay, all different wrestlers had schedules where the bigger names didn't do house shows. That started to become a thing more and more, especially like throughout the 90s and 2000s. And of course, it's different now. Okay, but when you look at right now, what's going on with Roman Reigns and Dustin took a little hiatus and came back. Of course you deserve a break. But a lot of these wrestlers get to the point where, okay, I've been here, now I'm gone. I'm only going to show up once in a while. How do you build a storyline around anyone who's a part-timer? And then you, in your mind, start to imagine things being more than what they are, different from the way they're actually going to be. That's the wrong thing to do to yourself. And you can't turn around and blame anybody and say, well, I thought this and that. Well, that's just what you thought. But the truth is, this is what you call changing of the guards. Is a different. Look at Paul Heyman, man. Paul Heyman's big, fat, old. He can't do much of shit, man. Basically, it's not the same thing. It's just not. Nothing's the same. Nothing is the same. And what I'm finding, WWE fans are so biased. They can't just admit the truth. So when those who are admitting the truth, like I said, the only thing is you guys keep trying to put wrestling in the same scenario. So whole situation is, a scenario coming from one company, and that's just bullshit. But at the same time, looking at like who are the top organizations in wrestling all around in America, if you look at it that way, for example, well, TNA has become cringe. MLW is just like, you keep waiting for, like, you're watching it and it's like nothing is really big going on. And I'm telling you, for any company that's looking at the WWE and they're thinking like this, sports entertainment bullshit is the way to go, I'm telling you, for one, it's not going to work for these other companies. They don't have the fan base. They don't have the wrestlers. They don't have, who do they have that have that kind of appeal? Jacob Fatu was more serious when he first came. Jacob Fatu was more serious when he was in MLW. And just because you throw a bunch of slang terminology out your mouth and jump around and shake your body around like the way the boogeyman used to and all that, doesn't mean shit. I'm just watching how they do, like how they're creating these characters now, man. And it's like, it's a huge step away from what they used to be. I guess characters like Kane, The Undertaker, I guess like Sting and like certain characters, you're just not gonna see them anymore. It's funny because even like Papa Shango, there's people that practice witchcraft. There's people that believe in that kind of shit and all that or whatever, okay? There's always, instead you want to give us little silly, goofy characters. You want to give us little 150 fucking pound wrestlers and shit and try to make them like the meanest motherfuckers on the roster. Then you take these big muscle-bound buffoons that can't win shit. Then you take these big sloppy fat motherfuckers and make them champions. These little fragile, frail motherfuckers. and try to make us think they're the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, when is the last time you even heard somebody use the term, I'm the best wrestler in the world in the WWE? When was the last time you heard that shit? I'm not talking about just because they hold a belt. I'm talking about because of their skill set. Wrestling has become secondary in the WWE. Everything is all about money, making big money, overpricing their tickets and everything and their merchandise and basically expecting you fools to go out there and break your pockets to support what they're doing. Like I said, if I just want to watch somebody talk shit, I just start watching soap operas, and I don't like soap operas. So the thing is, a lot of you, then when I say if you're like 25 and up, not because you're mature, because you're very immature, that's the thing. You see the difference in what you was getting with John Cena's era and Adam Copeland and Randy Orton and all of them, Batista and all them, but yeah, what you're not understanding is it's different, but your immaturity is blocking. It's like you guys are like impulsive to come up with a solution about yourselves, to understand I'm expecting something to happen. I've been hearing this shit. We've been sitting there laughing at mumble rappers for the past decade. Like, bro, everybody they need to go back to the skills. Yeah, you guys keep saying that shit, but it's not fucking happening. Now, are there rappers out there that have some skills that for whatever reason the radio's not playing? Yeah, far and few. I've gotten to the point I've outgrown rap music. I've just outgrown this shit. Every now and then, somebody might make a record, make an album or something. I might just, I honestly, I've outgrown the shit. I just find myself listening to shit that I just like, and I'm like, it's so different. It's so different. But I mean, for example, when I see a 55-year-old fucking man, motherfucker damn near 60, standing on the cover of his album with a hoodie on, with his gray-ass beard, with one pants leg rolled up, trying to screw face, like, bro, you're that old, still standing on the fucking street corner? Now, either you just have a shitty life, or you're out somewhere living up in the hills trying to put this front on, giving this poison to our communities while your kids are going to fucking private school or homeschool and they're not even around this bullshit. But you're feeding this poison to everybody else. Always talking about capping somebody, blowing somebody's brains out, and this, that, then that's all the fuck that you get. And I'm like, so at that age, you're running around the street still getting into beefs and shootouts? Just saying, y'all. At some point, you just outgrow shit. And I feel like what's happening with what I'm seeing, you guys don't want to stop watching WWE, but you're so disgusted with what they're giving you. And it's like, what the fuck do I do? One, stop making it personal. Okay, stop making it about you. And two, understand the shit just sucks right now. And until they get it, it's going to continue to suck. It's a different mindset, man. Plain and simple. Look, if you take Disney away from Marvel, and they stop with all this little watered down, I'm just being real with you, these little soft, sissy ass characters and shit, these little watered down, like, the comedy shit and all, and like, look at the first two Hulk movies and look at the MCU version of Hulk. First two movies, he was cool, he was, but they never let him Hulk out. They never let him really do what the Hulk does. Different writers, different minds. And Disney's involvement is to water everything down and put comedy in every fucking thing. As much as I've loved the Marvel movies and their comics and the animated stuff and all throughout the years, I'm not sitting up here beating myself up over this shit, man. And I'm not, like I said, when I go watch a Marvel movie, either I like it or I don't. And that's all it's going to be. But it's not going to be me pulling my fucking hair out, shouting out ideas of what they should have done and what they could have done different, and like to the point where, this stuff doesn't make me angry, man. It's just like, it's really weird to me to see, like, you know, all these partnerships that the WWE have, and the business endeavors that they have, and they're giving you such a garbage product. And it's clear, man. Look, I know somebody who worked at a place, is a nurse, right? She wanted her schedule to be a certain way, right? And they went by seniority, and they were supposed to go by seniority. And so what they were doing is, it was some racist shit going on. There was definitely some racist shit going on. And what they were doing, they were reaching out to different people that didn't even work there. Like, hey, people that they knew, why don't you come work here? And you could this and this and this, and we're paying more than what you'd be making, and blah, 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 whatever, right? So now, even though that person is new to that building, that person was working for the county longer. So they have the seniority. Well, what ended up happening was, this person had their schedule filled out the way he wanted it. And when they turned it in, they, okay, this, that, whatever, but they end up having her come in and work days that she didn't want to work. And so, bottom line, when she went to go speak about it, the administrator told that person, the nurse administrator said, well, you can always go work somewhere else if you're not happy. Yeah, that's what she told her. Yeah. Where am I going with this? Look, all these WWE fans that just fuck off. If you're not happy here, you can always go work somewhere else. Fuck off. If you don't like my product, you can always go watch something else. Nobody's forcing you. Yeah, you're forcing yourself. I gotta watch it. No, it's gonna suck, but I have to watch it. No, but I'm not gonna like it, but I have to. You're resting with yourselves. Look, they don't give a fuck. I'll tell you this shit right now. Companies care about money more than anything else. Business always comes first. Companies will tell you the first priority in your life should be your job. If this isn't your first priority, this is a place. Oh, I've heard all types of shit. Believe me, if you fucking think anybody's sitting home reading your motherfucking your little messages and shit, and they're taking it to heart, and they're gonna change, and they're gonna do better for you, you're more stupid than the storylines that they're giving you. These people don't care. They're all about their fucking money. And as long as you're paying, that's all they care about. And once you get to the point where it's clear, you are not caring about being a wrestling company. You don't even consider yourself a wrestling company. You consider yourself sports entertainment, which means they're going to come up with some shit that they find to be creative. And even if it don't make sense, I just want to do it. I like the idea. Fuck it. We're not worried about those who are going to complain. And you guys keep saying the same things over and over. Oh, this week's show was this week's show was that. Look, they're not even trying. They're doing things the way they want to. And in terms of going into a different direction, changing something a little bit, it's not, look, man. To tell someone storylines don't have to make sense is an easy way to avoid going into a detailed conversation about why the storylines don't make sense. You guys understand that? Triple H and nobody else want to take the time. They don't care to take the time to tell you anything. Either you like it or you don't. Watch it or don't watch it. That's it. But you guys are such slaves that you sit there making yourself watch something just so you can make a video and complain about it. I'm telling you, they've lost their edge. They've lost their touch. It's a different mindset. It's what you call changing of the guards. They're trying to cater to a different audience. Okay? It's like, example, let's be real. If you take some, if some rapper came out right now and this motherfucker came from rap's inception, talk about, hey, to the book of the bang, hang the boogie to the rhythm, to the boogie to be, let's give the beat bop, we bop, Scooby Doo. That shit is not gonna work now. That shit doesn't work. In fact, rappers that really can rap don't even work. And when it does with certain people, but it doesn't in terms of record sales and people hearing this shit on the radio. No. Because, one of the things I heard somebody say, I had somebody say something similar to me. It was actually MC Lyte said that Diddy, the song they wrote, Diddy was telling her, like, yo, Lyte, the shit is hot, but like, everything ain't gotta make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta dumb this shit down. I had somebody tell me some similar shit like that. Like, so bottom line is, this is what I'm saying. You're catering to a stupid audience. You gotta be real, man. When you're watching a match and you're falling asleep, and then all of a sudden the WWE audience is going, "This is awesome." Yo, what the fuck did I miss? Okay. Different day and time, man. It's a different day and time. You know, and if you want to do something to really just wake yourself up, go back and look at wrestling from the fucking 60s and 70s and just work your way up. And you'll see the difference in the eras. Why you're stuck on this whole, well, I remember, it doesn't matter what the fuck you remember. This is what it is now. And either you're going to adjust to it, or maybe somebody within the WWE will wake up, or they'll get somebody that comes in there that just knows how to put better stories together. In all honesty, I don't even know what would work for the WWE to do to make things better, because the talent that they have and the direction that they go, I don't need to imagine. I don't need to use my imagination. I'm just looking at what they've been doing. I don't know, man. I really don't know. And put it like this. If the majority of their audience think like you guys that keep bitching about stories, I don't know what will work for them. I really don't. Because when it comes to professional wrestling, if you're paying for a ticket to go sit in the seat, especially the nosebleed seats, just to watch on a fucking big ass screen in the building what's going on, you wasted your fucking money to me. Because if you're not there for the match itself, for the whole ball of wax, why are you wasting your time and your money? That's the real question I have. Because truthfully, they don't care if the stories make sense. They don't care if the matches are so-called 5-star matches. Everything has changed, man. So when you keep living in the past, talking about what they used to do, you're punishing yourselves with this shit. I'll say this, and I'm ready to close this video. With the amount of people that they just let go, whichever ones that's going to sign with AEW, I don't know. And I will find out whenever they decide to reveal that. With the injuries, with different people who you haven't seen. I mean, even like with AEW, we haven't seen Darby Allin for a while. We haven't seen Ruby Soho. We haven't seen Ty Mello. I don't know what happened with Brian Cage. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of things that we haven't seen. A lot of these people, you also got to remember, they wrestle at other promotions. So a lot of times they might get injured. And it had nothing to do with, the promotion that they like AEW. I don't know what happened with Brian Cage. But bottom line is, all of these different people, if all you guys are going to do is bash AEW because they're not trying to follow the pattern that WWE is using, that's on you. If you're going to continue to bash the WWE because they're not giving you the type of stories that you want, and that's all you're focused on is one aspect, the stories. Mommy, Daddy, tell me a story. That's on you. But I guarantee you, the same bullshit that you keep making week after week in your videos, these wrestlers will tell you to go fuck yourself. Okay, who the fuck are you to tell me I should go back to WWE? Who the fuck are you to sit up and tell me that, I don't like her promos and I don't like, based on comparing them to people that you feel are standard bearers. We've seen, look, Cody Rhodes is known to cut solid promos. John Cena was known to cut solid promos. John Cena has given us garbage before. I've heard you, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, man. Okay, but at the same time, you guys like these. Look, first of all, For what you're asking for, these wrestlers need to take acting lessons. Because you guys are asking for them to grab that microphone and just work magic every week, every week, every week, every week, every week. And here's the thing. When they try to load up the calendar with a bunch of pay-per-views, how much storytelling you think is going to go on? How much quality is going into that? No. They're just going to put some bullshit together. It's a WWE event. You're going to pay. You're going to go watch. And then you're going to complain about it. Then you're going to complain about AEW. You're going to complain about everything just because it's not what you fantasize about. There's no particular blueprint to say this is what every company should be doing. No. You have to take what you have. Look at what type of events you have, the match types you have. You can always create stuff. You can always, add new type of match types and different things. And like I said in the past video, if AEW decided to create some type of new type of match, like, for example, I don't want them to have their own version of an elimination chamber. Like I put it like this: I don't want to see copycatted materials. You understand what I'm saying? Like they can do something different. There's all look. Bottom line, man, is when it comes down to each company having signature type matches and signature type pay-per-views and things that make them stand out, you don't want them to forget that and get away from it. But it's like, for me, I love the Owen, I love the Continental Classic, I love the fact that this gives the wrestlers reason to go wrestle, and you're going to have matches that you might not normally just had. You're going to get like a lot of first-time matches that, somebody's going to win, right? And when they meet again, it'll be under different circumstances, different things like that. I like that they have that, and they're sticking with it, their blood and guts, and they have the anarchy in the arena. Like, I love the fact that they have these things. Okay. The King of the Ring, for example, it doesn't mean anything. There's no value to the King of the Ring. It's just silly. Everybody that gets it, it's always like a bad guy getting it. Now, when they get it, they act like a bunch of buffoons. Go back to the King Booker bullshit. I mean, it's like, okay, I won the King of the Ring, so what? So you walk around with a cup for a couple of weeks with that damn stupid scepter, your little crown, or your little stupid robe, and then what? It goes away. Like it's really nothing to it. So the King of the Ring is what does it really mean? Okay, what does Crown Jewel really mean? It's a pay-per-view, but what does it really mean? The Royal Rumble. You understand? We know what that leads to. We know what the Elimination Chamber leads to. Okay? This is what I'm saying, guys. There's going to always be changes. Hell, the Survivor Series used to be my favorite WWE event. And then they just little by little started changing it. It went from the 5-on-5s or whatever to fucking 4-on-4, whatever, to 1-on-1s to it just changed, man. It just got to the point where you just have SmackDown versus Raw for the men, SmackDown versus Raw for the women, and I just completely lost interest in that shit. It was like, it became my least favorite. It was like it lost what made it special. When TNA had Lethal Lockdown, when was the last time they even used that term? They got away from what separated them. I had no problem with the 8-sided ring, 6-sided, whatever, the 8-sided ring or whatever, but whatever it was, 6 sides, 8 sides, the octagon. But bottom line, they just got away from all of that shit, man. They got away from what made them stand out. And so, Hell in a Cell, it's a different type of cage match, of course, but bottom line is we can sit here and we can sit here and we can expect all these drastic changes, but if you understand that when things change, certain things get left out, certain things get added later. Just like you guys playing the fucking game saying, oh, how come they took this match type away? oh, this, that, and then he brought, you know, like when they have the ambulance match. I got a game for my 360. They have an ambulance match on there. They have a fucking a casket match on there. Forget that, but bottom line, it's like, guys, then they bring it back. And here's the funny thing, though. When they brought it back last year to 2K24, I'm looking for all this big plethora of videos of ambulance matches. Where are they? Where are they? You know, you wanted the mode so bad. You wanted the match type. You got it. What happened? This is why I said, guys, if you look at any wrestler, you look at, you know, what they're doing, they leave and go to a different company. It's like, don't change what made them special. If there was nothing really special about them and they were still trying to find their way, now you got to create something. Sometimes you have to recreate. But you guys pick and choose because you're not professional wrestling fans. You're just fans of a particular wrestling company. And this is where the business of wrestling as a genre, this is where it takes blows. Because people won't give something a chance just because they just don't want to. It's not good, it sucks, it's this, is that. Hell, the brand that you bragging about sucks. And you're saying it sucks. So once again, what do you like? It's misery, man. That's misery. So I look at, you know, everything that's happening in professional wrestling right now, and that I see. I don't see everything, but what I see, without AEW, man, there'd be so little to watch. To really, you know, like these people that keep trying to bring up MLW, I'm like, bro, you like what you like. I try to watch all of it as much as I can, you know, but you guys know damn well MLW is nowhere near the level of AEW. Like, stop playing around, man. These motherfuckers got wrestlers that look like a bunch of backyard wrestlers, man. These dudes don't even look like wrestlers and shit. They got a bunch of dudes that just, you know, then they have some legends. They have some people that, you know, I remember from New Japan, IWGP and all of that. These guys are much older now. But it's just, it's this, the problem is the consistency, man. Like, the funny thing is, when somebody goes, oh shit, remember Matt Riddle? Yeah, yo, this, I think he retired, but no, he's the MLW World Champion. That's my point, and people don't even know that shit. Eric Bischoff says he's done with WWE type of wrestling, and him doing this freestyle, him and Hogan with that bullshit freestyle. See, here's my thing. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I don't support nothing Hogan does. He's talking about people doing this and that. No, fuck Hulk Hogan. Anything Hulk Hogan touches, I don't support it. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck about you talking about what he did for wrestling. Fuck him. Wrestling gave him an outlet as well. He made money too. It's not like, you know, he needed wrestling as much as wrestling needed him. Simple as that. Okay? And bottom line, fuck Hulk Hogan, man. I don't support nothing that guy does. He's a lying motherfucker. And I mean, to this very day, you got people saying Hulk Hogan's a fucking liar. Just a couple of weeks ago, he said something and called Shelton Benjamin Shelton. You know, and just said a bunch of stupid shit, and Shelton Benjamin sent a tweet telling him that it would be best that he leave his name out of his mouth. Hogan, you know, I don't understand how you guys, in this era of time, dirty fucking cheating fighters can fail a drug test, and you guys will make excuses for them. People that always pass their drug test, you want to say that, oh, they're how do we know that person isn't taking steroids too? Right. Let's imagine that they are, but the people that we know are dirty, let's make excuses for. You know, we talk about human beings were all one race, but then when some racist piece of shit opened his mouth, you're such a fan, you can't even, it's real. Remember I had Hulk Hogan on Fight Forever? I completely deleted that motherfucker. I made motherfucking Rocky Johnson. I said, fuck Hulk Hogan. Like, seriously. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I mean, seriously. I don't support anything that he does. Eric Bischoff think it would be wise to keep Hogan's face off of TV when it airs because he don't want the backlash and the people not watching it because of Hogan. Fuck Hulk Hogan, like I said. You see, here's my thing. For the hypocrites that say, yeah, but what about all the freestyle wrestlers that don't have a sport to go to? Like, yeah, because after you do this Olympic shit, there's no professional leagues for it where people can get paid big money. So yeah, they'll end up going to MMA or going to professional wrestling or something like that, right? Okay, whatever. Or just go pursue whatever degree they got from college. But at the end of the day, the fact that Hulk Hogan races ass is involved, no. I don't give a shit. I'm not supporting nothing Hogan does, man. Nothing. So, for what could be something solid, for one, you got to look at this. How are they going to pay these people, right? What type of pay they're going to make? And what are they going to do? Try to let these guys cut promos and do a bunch of, WWE type of shit. And but they're going to, but it's freestyle wrestling. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And who the fuck is going to tune in and watch this shit every week? Who? I don't know. We'll see. Well, when I say we, you guys, I'm not. Why? I don't fucking care. I don't want to fucking anything Hogan is involved in. I'm not supporting that shit. Like, simple. Fuck him, man. I'm going to tell you this right here, man. When I see something and I know it's not right, I don't give a fuck if a million people like, I can't be a part of something that I just, that goes against who I stand for as a man, as a human being. I don't do racist shit. I'm not into this, I'm like this. If you stand against racism and hatred and all of that, then you understand you can't, all that turn the other cheek bullshit. No. Of course the bully likes that because the bully wants to continue to bully. So turn the other cheek, don't retaliate, just let me bully. Fuck that, man. This dude done lied way too many times. And, he continues to go and he think because he's affiliated with this fucking tangerine in the suit named Donald Trump that he feel like he's invincible now. When he was about to hit rock bottom, he came into a sweet deal financially, but fuck him. I'm not supporting what he does. So that's that. So the point that I was going to with that was Eric Bischoff. This guy, look, man, Eric Bischoff doesn't even talk about MLW and he works for these motherfuckers. He worked for them and don't even talk about them. It's like when Hogan was running TNA. I remember this motherfucker did a whole interview and they spent the whole interview talking about him body slamming Andre the Giant, who was 700 pounds, selling out MSG. I'm like, damn, no talk about TNA. You're just talking, goddamn. Only thing they did, well, yeah, you can catch TNA on Spike TV, brother, at 8 o'clock every Thursday night, and, this. But bottom line, when they started naming people, the rest of all they talked about, the Jeff Hardys, the Kurt Angle, they named everybody that was a former WWE guy. Here's your chance to plug AJ Styles, Robert Roode, Samoa Joe. No, this motherfucker, man. Goddamn. And here's the thing. That little group that they had, Abyss was a part of it at that time. He didn't even talk about Abyss. And, that to me is like, wow. I remember Rikishi came to TNA for like one match and he was like, who's this guy? Who's this Ravishing Rick? What's his name? Rick Ruder. Like he's a nobody. I remember Jeff Hardy. They announced he would be fighting AJ Styles, and he goes, "It'll be a breeze." Like AJ's nothing. Then they had AJ playing the goofy role. I remember they had announced that Rob Van Dam was wrestling against AJ, and Rob Van Dam says, I don't see AJ Styles the way everybody else does. I just think he's okay. He's all right, And I was. What did he say? I was X Division before they had an X Division, and I'm like, everything was just he's glorifying himself. He's shitting all over TNA. He even made a comment on an interview that said that he's bigger than TNA, right? And the guy that was talking to him, he says, Well, like, I can go to like an airport and stuff, and people like, hey, RVD, we miss you, man. You need to come back. Why'd you retire? And he's like, dude, I wrestled for TNA. And they're like, what's that? Now, this is a guy working for the company and saying this type of shit. So, all of these different things that I watch people do in wrestling, man, it's like, what sets AEW, there's several things that set the AEW apart from those other guys. And one of the things is Tony Khan doesn't have a second place mentality. And he's not worried about trying to outdo WWE. He's focused on AEW growing and doing, the best job, improving, their focus is going forward. Now, of course, everybody check out everybody else's product to see what they're doing. And of course they do. But what I'm saying is he's not going, hey, man, like in music, if somebody make a song about, hey, girl, shake your ass, now you got 20 songs, hey, girl, about some girl shaking her ass, because that one song went platinum. Everybody's, instead of being original, everybody want to just, let's copy. Yeah, I mean, I watched these things happen, man. I remember Kurt Angle was wrestling against, he's going to have a match against AJ, and AJ's telling him, Kurt Angle, you may be Olympic gold medal winner, blah, blah, blah. He says, but I'm the first TNA Triple Crown winner, and this and that, and whatever. And Kurt Angle responded with, give me a freaking break. TNA didn't even have a full freaking roster when you were champion. Like, so, in other words, your championship reign was a joke. See? All of these different situations that I've seen, and all of these different things that companies have put up with, one of the problems that former WWE wrestlers have always had with going to TNA or other companies is that they come there with this I'm bigger than your company mentality. CM Punk had that shit, and that's why it didn't work for him. Because CM Punk thought his shit didn't stink. Like, I can just come in here, I'm CM Punk. Hey, fuck you, man. We don't bow to you. Oh, man, the Young Bucks and everybody's gang up on Punk, and who do they think they are? And CM Punk is this. And bottom line, they're the ones that brought him out of retirement after 7 years. So if it's not for AEW, he wouldn't be in WWE right now. Just like Cody Rhodes. So, with all of that being said, Tony Khan's not going for that shit. It's like, nah, you're not going to come in this motherfucker and act like you're bigger than my company. You're bigger than wrestling. Because you was in the WWE. No, man. No. Also, it's not just because somebody's released. It's who you get. That guy, Reginald, is over there wrestling in TNA. Like I said, I saw Moose struggling to beat that guy. I mean, it's the same dude that used to get smacked around by Nia Jackson and just get beat up by women and doing little flips in and out the ring with his little suit on, his little acrobatics and shit, and hit Moose, 280-pound fucking Moose, struggling to beat this little acrobat. Struggled to beat one of the fucking rascals. I mean, everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything is just like the art of wrestling. I used to love watching TNA, man. I liked MLW. I like Wrestling Society X. They canceled that shit. I like Lucha Underground. That shit got canceled. I mean, goddamn. And no matter what we keep getting, people just don't get it. Nobody's telling you to pretend you like something. It's just the fact. You guys don't like anything. You don't know how to appreciate anything. You take everything for fucking granted. And you guys always want to give advice, but you don't create shit. All you do is buy shit. You're not a seller. You're a buyer. And all you do is buy shit. And then complain about what you buy. Create your own shit. And if you can't understand, like, man, you know what? There's a difference. Certain things are not going to be, many things are not going to be. Well, okay, we don't watch VHS tapes anymore. We don't fucking listen. Most people, when the last time, they don't even make cards or CDs anymore. Okay? Everything's changing. Everything. And this is why you have to have a company that gives you professional wrestling with all of the, theatrics and all, but you got to give professional wrestling. I'm not tuning into anybody's show to just sit here and watch 2 and 3 different people come out and talk for a fucking half hour apiece and then give you a couple of squash matches, and then give you some 10-minute match that just doesn't mean jack shit. It is what it is, y'all. But I tell you what, as the weeks go on, the months go on, and these different pay-per-views are happening and different, things are going on, you guys can either be real with yourselves. Summertime is about to happen. Summertime is only 90 fucking days. Depending on where you live, you might live somewhere like certain parts of Florida, the South, or whatever, where it's warm all the time, and the coldest is like 60-something, 68, 60-something degrees, low 70s, high 60s, whatever. Okay, cool. You guys, whatever. But 90 days of fucking summer. Man, I am not rushing. I can wait for All In. I can wait for any of that shit. It's going to come when it's going to come. But I want to enjoy my summer. I want to enjoy every day. I want to be able to just enjoy life. And that's what I do. And I'm saying this, guys, because let's just be real. When you're so fixated on, I just have to make a video about this, I know the show's going to suck. Why do you act so shocked when the show's, when you find that the show sucks? Why? And that's what you were anticipating. I'm just saying, y'all. You got to grow up. Wrestling is not what it was before. Nothing. Everything is changing. Everything. The movies, the music, everything is different. And you guys just need to understand that the WWE storytelling, their mindset of what they see is good TV and all of it. It's just different, man. And it's not what you were used to. It's not what you wanted. And then you go, yeah, but last year was last year. Did this WrestleMania look anything like last year's WrestleMania? Does anything going on right now remind you of last year? So, anyway, guys, that's all I got for you now. Catch you guys on the next video.